been here at the university for quite a while now, so quite a few years. Started off in chemistry, so now I cover 2 schools. I cover chemistry and computer science, both with Hannah, who will introduce herself in a bit. And generally, I love helping students. I love my job. And at home, I generally just love walking my dog and having a nice life and walking around a lot.
So I'm Hannah. I work alongside Mia in computer science as a wellbeing officer, and you might hear that we're called welfare tutors as well, and other names. So I'm fairly new to the university itself, but I mean, part of my role as wellbeing officer is a first point of contact for students, any concerns that they have, which, you know, it's really nice because I'm like I like being a bit of a problem solver and trying to find resources. My background is actually in psychotherapy and counselling, so I like to bring a lot of that through. So, you know, we're an approachable team, and I look forward to actually problem solving and finding answers for students, or at least finding some other support systems we've got in place at the university, which is fantastic because we've got central wellbeing services as well. And I spend spare time at the moment. It is sitting at home, like most of you, but I love my rugby, I love my hiking, fresh air, daylight, greenery. Anytime I can fit that in, I'll fit that
in. Here is generally to support students. So that's either students that turn up to a drop-in session, which requires no appointment, so you turn up on the day, or through appointment, so you can email and just ask for some support really. And we can talk through anything from concerns from academics, so settling into the academic environment can be quite difficult, to personal wellbeing needs. So if things are going wrong at home, or you're struggling to settle in and that's impacting your mental health, and generally getting used to the university environment might be quite difficult to talk through with other people. So that's what we're here for. So we are that point of contact, so you can get that support quite quickly to make sure things don't escalate, but also we're there for the pastoral support throughout your degree. So as things start to change and get more difficult, or generally you're struggling with projects, that's what we're here for. So we're here with those coping strategies and low-level mental health interventions to keep you coping and keep you moving forward.
First point of contact, if you're not too sure where to go and it's wellbeing orientated, or even if you get stuck, like Mia said, if it's an academic issue and you're not too sure where to go, come to us and we can kind of find out who you're meant to go to, or we can facilitate conversations as well. Yes, there are drop-in sessions, one-to-one appointment. I mean, obviously we'll have Zoom conversations soon as well. But reach out, that's the most important part, because there is the service there. If we're not the wellbeing team, you know, we wouldn't have anybody approaching us. You know, but first point of contact, I keep saying that, first point of contact, if in doubt, reach out is what I always say. There's plenty of services there. We've got so many services throughout the university, but if you don't know where to go within your school because you keep yourself to that, come to us and we can kind of find a way out for you.
The chemistry department, they are really lucky in that they have an amazing personal tutor system which can help throughout your studies. So not just in the first year, we're talking even in your final year when you're starting to get used to quite bigger projects like your project. So this is really helpful in getting the support early on. So you are speaking to your personal tutor regularly, so they'll pick up when you're starting to struggle or you're finding the academic side difficult, or even if you need advice. So by them being there, they can start to pick up early signs of if there are the difficulties that we can then help with. So we've got a really strong network with the academics in the sense that when something's going wrong, they will advise you to come speak to us, and they will do that. But if that then continues, what they'll do is they will then raise concerns on your behalf, especially if you're struggling to come to us directly, and then we will then get in contact with you. So it's a really good positive cycle of support. So they will support you, and then if you're struggling, they'll kind of send you in our direction and then we can support you. So it's a good support system that we have in chemistry.
That's another first point of contact for you. You'll have so many modules, so many tutors, so many academics to actually remember. Having that the same name to go to is really helpful. You don't have to keep finding somebody new for each module, for example, you can go to this one person, then figure it out from there as well. And it's a really good structure as well. It's quite straightforward. If you think about mind maps, you start off in the centre and you kind of work out from there, and that's what you've got with the academic side as well. It's really important to have that personal tutor because it's the academic support side of it. So two folds there, your wellbeing side of it, your academic side of it, and you know where you can go from there as well.
Students by being open and friendly and just being someone outside of their friendship groups, outside of the school, outside of just their peers or their family where they can talk to. So it might be that it's problems that they don't want to talk to other people about, and I'm that point of contact then. So I'm very much a non-judgmental service. So it means that they can access that support. They can talk about things they feel like they can't talk about with anyone else. And once we know what the problems are, we can then identify what support is needed. So it might be support that me and Hannah can manage, which is just the low level mental health side of it. So we'll always recommend a GP, but we can also talk through coping strategies, mental health strategies, breathing exercises as well. So it's things that are quite manageable, and especially early on when you're struggling with anxiety or stress management, we can talk through that. And then we also provide workshops as well. So our students can attend any of our workshops which cover mental health, anxiety, stress, exam stress and revision as well, which is a really important one because it is such a big jump from going from school and college to university. So we provide that support level for the students really.
Having that confidence to actually go to someone who isn't, your tutor that you feel like you might get in trouble with, or your peers that might judge you that you can't cope and so on. So to go to someone where you can speak with confidence, in a non-judgmental environment, in an approachable environment as well. And it's somewhere that you keep a thread as well. It's not you go to once and that's it, you never see us again. It's somewhere you can check in once in a while, get that support, find out what's going to help you, what maybe not helping you as well. There's tricks and tips as well, like Nia said, that are breathing exercise. We've got resources, we've got signposting services, we've got every leaflet under the sun which can send you. But having that conversation in that safe environment allows us to actually figure out what is it that you're not saying as well as what you are saying to us as well. So giving you that space is really important. And as Mia said as well, if you're going from college, and we also have a lot of mature students as well, you're coming out of work and your home life and suddenly into education again, possibly full time. There's a lot of pressure on, and how do you balance it all? Creating plans with you, figuring out what the outlook is in the next month, the next 6 weeks, the next 12 weeks, and so on and so forth, and planning that for with you, not for you but with you, and working alongside you, not just making you do anything. We don't give you homework as such. We'll give you advice, we'll give you guidance, but more importantly, we'll leave it open to you to actually test these things out as well. So it's about growth. For me, it's about helping you become who you are going to become in the next 1 to 5 years and so on, however long your course is as well. So it's really important to have that thread, recreate that. Important for me is, although we work at the university and for the university, it's almost like we're not the university. So you haven't got that fear of, oh gosh, if I tell her something, maybe it'll go somewhere else. Or if, who do I go to when I just want to have that conversation when I'm not feeling well, or I'm not actually sure what's going on. We're almost like that intermediary, that middle person. So we're part of the system. We are the system, but actually we're working for you, with you, rather than around you, if you like.
The most important aspect of my role is that I have probably seen it and been there, and students have come to me with a lot of different things over the 5 years I've been in wellbeing, but each case I take as personal, so I know it's impacting you, so I want to be there to support you. So I may have seen anxiety cases several times a week, but I know how much it's impacting you. So I think that's really key, is actually I'm taking your case as you, and you tell me what you need me to know, but I'll also ask the questions. So it's about almost being the ground between finding out a little bit more, so I know where to support you, but also you feeling confident in telling me that information. Yeah, so for me, I have been here quite a few years. So for me, the most rewarding part is seeing my students graduate and actually seeing how I've watched their journeys from the first year, watching how they develop, even seeing them on open day visits, and then just watching them through their studies, being able to support them and actually being with them while they move forward. And I think seeing them on that graduation day is really special and it is lovely. So seeing the students that I know and have supported throughout the years is really something special and one of the best parts of this job.
It's about watching that growth. It's not just from day one enrolling to day whatever it's going to be, or year whatever it's going to be, and they graduate and off they go to the next part of their journey. But it's a change from who they used to be to who they become as well, because you don't just change by the information that you're learning, you grow as a person as well. And you see that it's almost like they go from children to adults. So coming in at 18, for example, and leaving at 21 and so on, that evolution of that person is going to make such an impact. I know in 10 years time, 20 years time, I hope to think that they think, you know what, I'm glad I went to the wellbeing officer, you know, I'm glad I asked that question. And that's that growth I like to see as
well. Both to parents and to our future students, and we are there for you. So it's really hard for parents to manage the relationship of their kind of child going off and being independent, and that can be difficult. But then knowing we're here, I hope helps reassure them that there is the support. So when things are going wrong, our students and your children do have someone to go to, and they're not on their own. And I think knowing that will be really important, because then the parents can tell their children to come to welfare. So if they hear that their child's struggling to settle in or struggling generally with making friends, just try and send them to us and then we can help. So if you know about us, then hopefully all our students will start to know about us.
I'd say trust the process, enjoy the journey, and if in doubt, reach out, because there's always somebody. If you get stuck, there's somebody you can talk to, there's somebody you can reach out to, there's somebody who knows where you need to go to, the signposting, the referrals, the posters, and so on and so forth. We've got so many services. Just ask. Don't be afraid to ask. There's no silly questions. Don't be afraid to ask.